This is the biggest thing stopping you as a real estate agent from getting to the next level of your business. Whether that is 100K a year, 200K a year, 100K months. The only thing stopping you is one huge philosophy that you hold right now. And that this philosophy helped me get $25 million in new business in under 70 days, all for free. No ads, no open houses, no door knocking, no cold calling, for a unique system that we use internally to really grow our businesses to the next level. But even if I taught you all the right systems and strategies and processes, procedures, it would mean nothing, because without understanding this one concept, first, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Because right now, you probably already know you can do more. You know that you can make double, triple, 10 times more than make right now. And what's stopping you is not understanding this one simple concept. I'm going to break down this video. So again, my name is Jordan Super. I'm one of the top agents in all of USA. We got $25 million in new business, mostly listings in under 70 days through all strategies. And on this channel, I teach you all the best processes, mindset, hacks, and so forth to grow your business to the next level as fast as possible without being a primitive agent. If my goal here is to make you a modern agent, to help you control your pipeline. That is the goal of this whole channel. And if you get so much value from us in the future, maybe you invest with us as your coaches and mentors personally, and you join our 6-figure Agent Society program. We help people like you get 10 clients in 6 months. And if you don't get those 10 clients in 6 months, it's no risk for you. I give you a full refund and I pay you $5,000. We're so confident we can help you get to the next level in your business like never before. And so far, we have 0 refunds. Now, without that being aside, the whole point of the video though is not to kind of show you what we're doing there. I want you to really understand the biggest thing that's stopping you as an agent from going to the next level is that it's all about the mindset. And when I first started off entrepreneurship, I thought mindset was great, but I wanted the tactical stuff. I wanted, what should I say to people? How do I find new leads? How do I tackle the narrative of branding, social media marketing, you name it. That was my main concern, is the tactical, high-level stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, I still love them. They're super helpful. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that really help us, more than any of that, is understanding how we operate as people individually. So let me show my screen with you, our trusty whiteboard that we all know and love. Because this really can help you understand the paradigm of what's stopping you right now. Because there's 2 things as humans that drive us. Only 2. Number 1, which we all know and love, is pleasure. Pleasure is one of our biggest driving factors. Well, who you are, you want to have good food, you want to have good sex, you want to have good money, status, you name it, respect, love, all these things. So, love, respect, status, money, which is part of status, but that's neither here nor there. All these things, even like shelter. If you listen to like the Maslow hierarchy of needs, this is his whole thing. This is pretty much what pleasure is. And then as we upgrade from each level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we find new things to fulfill those pleasures and those needs and desires. This is our biggest driving factor. And in college, for fun, why I love this so much, my major was psychology. IELTS psychology, which is business psychology, but that was my major, 4.0 GPA, all honors classes. I love this stuff. And also I've learned as an entrepreneur Running a 7+ figure business, what makes the biggest differences are the frameworks and the mindsets we have. It's all this mental models. Mental models are the driving factors for everything in your business. Because at the end of the day, if your business is not where you want it to be at, it's because of you as an agent. It sounds harsh, but it's true. Like, you are the only thing stopping your business from growing to the next level. Like, I used to be homeless off and on from 12 to 18. I slept on frozen benches, friends' couches, lived on food stamps. Somebody had no food at all. All the things you can possibly think of were against me. And the only reason why I am now living in an amazing penthouse, looking at the mountains, making insane amounts of income, doing lots of volume, is because I understood that the mental models and the frameworks that got me to where I'm at now. And now, this is honestly one of the most important ones out there. So we understand what pleasure is. We also understand the opposite. The opposite of pleasure is pain. This is what also drives humans as a whole. We're driven by two things. We're emotional creatures, so it's pleasure and pain. Pain could be lack of love. Could be disrespect. Could be no status. No money. And the list goes on and on and on. No home. I've been there before. I can tell you that is a big driving factor for most people. It's not be homeless. It's not how any way to eat. Like, it's another big thing. Like food, shelter, money. Money, honestly, is one of the biggest things because money solves all other things for us. But like, these two things are what really, really drives us. And the reason why I explain this first, because I'm gonna go even deeper. Like, you will never see this kind of content anywhere else. On YouTube and courses, you name it, out there. I had invested personally hundreds of thousands of dollars into coaches and mentorships over the past couple of years. And I've still never really seen this done in this way. So when we look at goals, it comes down to a couple of things. Most people, the way they do goal setting as an agent is, my goal is to do 2 deals a month. Or it could be, I want to make 10K a month. Who knows? One of these two things. That's a common goal. Break 6 figures, maybe make 250K, maybe make $500,000, or the big one, let's make $1 million. All of these are kind of easy to do once you understand like your mindset, your frameworks, but also marketing and sales. All these are easy. I know it sounds crazy to hear from somebody, but like, we generated almost $1 million in 60 days. To kind of give perspective, like, once you understand these frameworks, everything else kind of falls into place. And what most people do is that they're really pleasure driven. The whole way of doing goal setting is based on pleasure, which makes sense in theory. Like, if I aim for $1 million a month, that means that I'm pleasure driven to that. But what I've learned that is more effective, one, goals more or less not that effective. I think having habits that you follow and routines that you use every single day to take action is more important. If you go to $1 million a month or a year or 100K a year, just reverse engineer what that looks like. But on a deeper level though, if I, instead of doing goals in a pleasure setting and use a pain setting, this is actually more motivating for us. If I say that my goal is 100K a month, let's say that's your goal for you, and I am now driven off of pain, saying, if I don't do this, what will happen? Will I lose love, lose status, lose my house. Because a lot of times it's really, really easy to do a contrast. If I spin it instead of I want 100K or $1 million or $10 million, what case might be, say, I want this, nice, but what happens if I don't do this? What am I running from? Because for me, when I was a kid being homeless off and on, I ran from being homeless, from being broke, having no status, having no love. All these things are driving factors. And you can tell yourself, oh, if I don't do this, this may happen. So on a deeper level, the way your goals work is on two different spectrums. We have pain and we have pleasure. And the way humans work as a whole is I will run from pain but walk towards pleasure. Say it one more time. People as a whole, you watching this right now, would run from pain, but you'd walk towards pleasure. And what I mean is, if I said to you, you have 24 hours to get $3 million under contract, or you die. Morbid, I know, but that is our agreement here. If that's the case, you will do whatever it takes to make that not happen. Whatever it took, you'd find a way to do it. Or let's say one level higher, it's your kid or your parents or your loved ones that will be deceased if you don't do X, Y, and Z, the $3 million in 24 hours. You will do whatever it took to make that happen. Which is why you're running from pain. So if I have, let's say, fire here, I don't want to be in smoke and burnt up, this will make you run as fast as you can this way. This is how you gotta think about business as an agent as often as possible. Remind ourselves of the pain. How can we make ourselves go toward the pleasure? Pleasure, in this case, would be a little stream of water. That's what I'm trying to get to. And for you, it's the same exact way. So remind yourself more on the contrast of your goals, but what happens if you don't do this? What do you lose? What do you not get to have anymore? Like for me, I had a nice Porsche, the Rolexes, all these fancy stuff, and me losing those or backtracking, I don't want. And also why, as crazy as it sounds, it's actually better to over leverage yourself within reasons if you can. Because then your new mindset is, I don't want to lose this lifestyle. If you have the Porsches, or the Rolex, or the penthouse, all these things, and you will now work even harder to make sure you don't lose them, which will push you towards pleasure. What happens a lot of times, agents as a whole, people as a whole, they will make 100K, 200K. I think the worst income level is like $300,000. Sounds crazy, but at $300,000, you can pretty much do whatever you want to. Like you can buy nice cars, you can travel, have nice hotels. You have a pretty okay life. Is it great? No, compared to the people making millions, not that significant. But for most people out there, life is pretty good. So at that level, most people become complacent and comfortable. And then they just start walking towards pleasure. Because the pain is now alleviated. The pain you had of not having status, not being a good entrepreneur, not looking impressive to your friends, your family, community, is all gone. So we have a bigger lifestyle But I don't agree with lifestyle creep. You should not like overleverage yourself to the point where like if you do a bad month, you lose everything. Don't do that. But like you can upgrade things slowly within reason to make you want it more and push you higher. Because humans, we have two whys. And I have a whole video about this on this channel as well. I won't go into too much detail, but you can watch that if you want to see more context on this. Our first why are our selfish whys. This is internal. These whys are, I want to place my job, I want to buy a nice car, I want to buy a Rolex, I want to travel. All of these are internal whys that are more selfish just for ourselves. Our next why, which is I think the most important why, are external whys. These whys are about other people. They are selfless more often than not. That could be retiring your parents, that could be buying schools, that could be making a charity, that could be donating, that could be paying for your kids' college, paying off your parents' house, surprising your wife with something, your spouse with something, you name it, plug it in there, is the external why. And if this why is big enough, it also attaches to pain and pleasure. So the internal why, that's just mostly pleasure. It's like, I want to make 10K a month. If that's the goal, I get there, I'm done. I can start relaxing. So that's why you see a lot of people who are like, oh, I just made 10K this month already. It's August 1st or 2nd. I'm done for the whole month. I'm going to relax and hang out. And what happens is the whole life is now forced into pain the following month. So stay with me. I'm going to go even deeper. It's like, you think this is good so far, just you wait. I'm going to go even deeper to really explain how powerful this really is, how it works every single day in all avenues and levels of your life. But why here? This is what really drives us. Our external why, it attached to pain because it could be, if I don't do this, I cannot retire my parents. If I don't do this, I cannot pay for my kids' college. And that big pain, but pushes people to their goals. Because it's not about ourselves. Because most humans, as selfish as most of them we are, we're also still selfless because we are as creatures. So I want to make sure that I can align that with that as well, make my goals attached to somebody else, so I'm more accountable to other people and ourselves. That's why you have a job. You will do more for your job than you do for your own business because you're being paid by that person, you're accountable for that person, you have expectations to follow, and the pain is getting fired. The pleasure is getting paid. And for ourselves, we can't really fire ourselves. We can lose the business, but like for the most part, we can't fire ourselves. And that's why it happens. So let's go even deeper. Because the way it works on a base level, from pain to pleasure, we run from pain, we go towards pleasure. How can we make a fire below us make that happen? The way life works is like one big roller coaster. And the roller coaster, as funny as it sounds, is created by ourselves. 100%. It's made by ourselves. Because we could have a straight line. And we don't because we want more. It's the human curse of desire, of ambition, of marketing. We all pray to marketing. I could make 10K every month, and I can live below my means. I can live a super stable life, do nothing. I can live a super basic life. I could meal prep. I could have a low housing. And the list goes on. I can settle. Is the real word here. I can settle and be happy, being average. If you're watching this video though, you're probably not average because this channel for people who are ambitious, trying to go to the next level of their businesses. And the reason why this happens, because humans as a whole, we don't want to just have the same life. We want to always be improving and growing, even though as humans, our brains are wired to just keep us alive and safe, not to make us rich, not to make us happy. This to make us safe and okay. So this doesn't happen though because we have other influences. We see people on TV, people on social media. We have all these things going on that makes us want to have this roller coaster ride of more. So this is what really happens in real world. Let's say your goal is 100K a month. I don't understand 10K a month because I want you to aim higher than that. So let's say your goal is 100K months and you hit 100K in one single month. Congrats to you. You're now earning more than 99.5% of the population. You're top 1%, top 0.5% of the whole world. You made it to a big part. And then the fun game happens after that when people are making 100Ks an hour or a minute. But nothing's here or there. What happens though is they make 100K this first month or the next month. And then we let off the gas because the pain was down here. This is the fire. This is the fire all down below. And I attached my goal of 100K to be that I make this kind of income to do X, Y, and Z, or maybe it's a personal thing you have internally. It's just like who you are as a person. It's your standard. So the standard, to kind of backtrack real fast, is what really helps us keep on growing. Standards make the biggest difference to this. So if my minimum standard is 100K, if I fall below 100K, I walk towards the fire, or actually I fall towards the fire. So in this case, what happens for most people though, have 100K a month, and then they stop doing prospecting. They stop doing lead gen. They stop making videos. They stop doing follow-up. They stop doing all the things in the first place that got them to the goal of the 100K. And when that happens, we fall prey to having a 50K a month or a 10K a month. And now, let's say your true, bare minimum or your identity is 10K, and that happens to you a month. You say, oh my God, this is awful. I'm in pain. I hate this. What can I do now to go to the next level? It pisses it up to do more prospecting, more lead gen, more content, you name it. We will now do more activities to get us back to this point of 50K, 100K months, and so on, and so on, and so on. And then we have this never-ending cycle though, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, because we are having no true pain and desire being increased or reinforced. We're staying constant. It's kind of like we're playing this game down here that is settling, but on a larger scale, that we now have ebbs and flows. So instead, what we should be doing is always increasing our standards, and not just that, but also reinforcing the pain and the pleasures. That's why if you're an entrepreneur and you're an agent and you just made 100K in 3-6 months and you don't reward yourself, so let's say 100K a month equals pleasure, but you don't spend it on vacations, on a Rolex, or on what you love, Gucci bags, I don't know what you're into, whatever you like. If you don't reward yourself, the pleasure goes away. And again, after a while, that has become kind of boring. You don't care as much about Rolexes, cars, Porsches, Lamborghinis, all these things after so long. And the pleasure starts reducing itself. And that means the 100K months is not as pleasurable as it was before. Now you need 200K months, You need 300K months or 30K months. Whatever the number is, just adjust to your goals. And this allows us to be stuck in a pleasure-seeking thing. If I add the pain reinforcement to it, so that if I don't do this, I will donate this much money. If I don't do this, I will lose X, Y, and Z. If I don't do this, I cannot take vacations. I cannot do this. And by adding in rewards at each level for yourself, it reinforces to your brain that, wow, what I'm doing is great and it's worthwhile. If you don't do it, you say, well, I worked super hard. I had all these appointments, all these showings, all these annoying fires to put out, and I did that, but now I never finish the sell for it. I just made a lot of money, but like, what am I doing with the money? And then you kind of see that why our standards just stay the same every single time, because we're not reinforcing that reward system and not bringing in a bigger fire every single month. Now, the ways to really do this, though, is when we have our standards and our roller coaster rides, we should be thinking, how can I make my reward system and my standards going up every single month? And we do this by having bigger fires at each level to increase our threshold per time. And we also do this by having bigger rewards at each level that pushes us to go higher. So what you have right now is your goals, internally or externally, or a pleasure or pain seeking segment. You should be increasing those and changing those every single month. And this is what most agents and people get it wrong. They have the same goal, the same thing for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And if you were to zoom out on this first example, on a long enough time horizon, what it ends up looking like is this. In the day-to-day, it's like this. But overall, if you look long enough, nothing really changed because there's no big stimulus forcing us to do more, to run towards the pleasure, to run away from pain, and so forth. And this is why here we'll be increasing every single time. Adding more rewards, adding bigger goals, adding bigger insights, finding better coaches and mentors to help you grow your business. If this is helping you so far, down below, apply to work with us at our mentorship program we have, helping you get 10 new clients in 6 months, guaranteed. If you don't get 10 clients, again, you get a full refund plus $5,000. And the main goal of this program, help you land 2 to 5 clients in the first 30 days. If that sounds good, interesting to you, down below, apply to work with us, see if you're a good fit for this company, for our program. We don't accept all agents. If you're like brand new and have no money to invest, or if you're like not committed, probably don't apply. But if you're like, I'm trying to make 100K, 200K, $1 million a year, and I want more support and guidance from the best systems out there, be a modern agent and stop doing cold calls, open houses, door knocking, then this is for you. So down below, apply to see if you're a good fit. Happy to help you get to the next level of your business as quickly as possible. And help you have to light a fire under yourself as well by making an investment in yourself. But all these things help us so much more. Like honestly, on that point, like for me, I will bring on fires in different ways. A fire doesn't have to be bad. And also you can even combine rewards and fires together. Like let's say for me, one fire I had not long ago was $60,000 investment into a coach. That cost me $60,000 and had 2 things going for me. One, the fire was I invested $60,000, which is a lot of money. Don't worry, my program's not that much, but I invested $60,000, and that made me have a huge fire. Wow, I will not waste this money. That was my pain. It was wasting money. I'm gonna do what it took, make more income. The reward was the promise. The promise was make $250,000 in like a year. Back then, that was great. Now, not as much. Back then, I loved it. So like that pushed me to have a pain and a pleasure setting. Now, it could be another reward. Could be like, I want to not lose my new house. And maybe you got a new house, you bought a new thing, got a new car. You don't want to lose these things. And that's going to help push you to the next level of your business. The reward could be, let's say, 100K. Could be 200K. Could be 300K. 500K. $1 million. You can lose a month, a week, a day. It's up to you. Whatever it might be, this is how it looks though. And if I am doing this way, I'm now forcing myself to raise my standards every single time. And every single month, you can see here, my threshold of my normal standards. Actually, let me do this. This is my bottom. We start becoming so high that our low highs will then be lower than our high bottoms after a long time horizon. So if a long time horizon, it looks more like this. Well, it's increasing so much so that our lows or higher, our new lows are higher than the old highs. Now we should be looking at for yourself as well. And this works not just on income, this works on all levels. And by knowing this, it helps you understand how to do it even more effectively. Because maybe you're new to making income, doing transactions, all these things, or not even yet. This same thing applies for fitness. It applies to love. It applies to, obviously, money we just talked about. It applies to friends. It applies to every single avenue of our life. And most people, on a long time horizon, it looks like this. It's the same thing over and over again. This is why most people, by the end of the year, or end of their lifetimes, overweight, they can't walk, they can't do stuff, because if you're not growing, you're not becoming uncomfortable, that means it's not maintenance. You're declining. Maintenance takes place if we're growing every single time as well. If I went to the gym every single day, I lifted the same weight, I won't change too much in the next 5-10 years. Maybe more definition, but for the most part, after a while, my metabolism will slow down and I will actually have a decrease over time and have a really low maintenance point. For love, if I marry my wife Melanie and I don't ever change and evolve and grow, our relationship will crumble eventually because that maintenance is declining because it's the same person forever. And no one wants that. They want to have growth and change and love and excitement, all these things, be dating your partner forever. Money, same thing. Inflation. Inflation will take away your money. Depreciation will take away your money. Appreciation also takes away your money. If a house 20 years ago cost somebody $50,000 and that same house now costs $500,000, you can see I have the same income forever. I'm actually declining on a long time horizon. So on this point too, this is why it's so important to not stay the same, to not have these low things, because this is what it looks like on a real time horizon. All these things will become slow and slow over time if we don't reinforce new standards, if we don't align new fires and add new rewards and new goals and pleasures to our lives every single month, year, and so forth. I believe wholeheartedly, side note here, that your life should be better every single year up to a point than the prior year. Like your 20s, your high school, in your 30s should not be the best years of your life. The best years of your life should be the next year you have coming up. Like for me, I'm in much better shape than I am now. I'm smarter, better looking, make way more money. All the things more than I did in my 20s, definitely in my teens. Because I'm always raising my bar. So for yourself, raise the bars and also find a way to also be grateful for where you're at. A little side note. I think it's super important to also be grateful for your life. But now, if I'm looking at the same kind of diagram here, for fitness, I want this like this. So along a time horizon, it's like this. For love, the same thing. I want to have an increase every single time over a long enough time. Friendship, same things. I want to find friends that also want to upgrade themselves and have better relationships and have more money and have more impact and do more great things and not just be the same person over and over again for 20, 30 years and call that living. That is existing. So I hope this all makes sense. This is how you can really master becoming better. And I know like you're probably saying stuff right now, well, it's easy to say, how do I just increase my standard? Like if my standard was 10K or 100K, what makes it better? Well, then you can increase your standard by having more fires. You can increase your standard by saying, if I have less than 50K in my bank, I'm not happy. If I have less than 100K in my bank, I'm not happy. Because you're doing it that way, you will see it happen. If I have less than 1 date a week with my wife, I'm not happy. Like that's how you increase your standards. And you add in more variables as you go. And more files if you go. And if you're like, I do that, but I still just can't I'm walking towards pleasure. How do I run from that? And then have a negative consequence. If you don't have one date, what happens? Maybe you pay your wife $100, or maybe you donate money to somebody else, or maybe you pay for your friend to have a date with their wives if you don't do it. What can you do to add pain to your scenario? Make you do that. So maybe you don't want to spend money wastefully by buying Lamborghinis and Bugattis and all those things, and you don't do that. It's totally fine. What's best for you, do that. For me, I think money is, if you were to solve any of these things, solving money solves all the other ones too, because they're all connected. This is one thing you can't get away from. Money, friends, money and being social are two things you cannot avoid in life. Money and humans. So how can you find a way to add these together and have that be a consequence for you? This is how I break down my stuff. This is how we got $25 million in literally 7 days. Because for me, my pain was, before I hop off of this, my pain was being average. I hate being average. We made probably $500,000 in about 12 months prior to doing $750,000 in 2 months. But to me, I was increasing my pain, my pleasure. This is like a live personal example for you. My pain was, or my fire in this case, was two sides. I had one fire that was me feeling average, me upgrading my life. So buy a nicer house, have nicer cars, nicer stuff, all the things, upgrades. Another fire was I had a new son who's now 1. That was another fire of mine. Another fire of mine was my, family with a wife. And then another fire was other agents. I found new people to compete against that they did not know about it. Because it's really easy to increase your fire if you say, oh, this person did $1 million last year. I only did $500K last year. I'm not doing good enough. And these fires pushed me to do more. So let's say what happened on the backside of that was my rewards was the halos, not average. So status, it was family. So you see here, these two things can go back and forth to each other. It was success. There was money. All these reward systems. What pushed me further than this, because we all know about this stuff, was the fires of being average, not having to pay for my lifestyle, not having a happier family and wife. For me, growing up in a broken home, money obviously is a huge part for us, and also not being better than other agents I knew that I was better than them. And because I had this huge fire below me, we had a huge uptick, but not a lot of downs, because we were so motivated to get there as fast as possible. And let's say this is 12 months. So 12 months, and then we did $750,000 in 2 months. So I just changed my mindset. I changed my mindset, I got bigger fires, I got super motivated, and it pushed me to the next level of your business. And for you, it's the same exact way. Just find a way to add this into your paradigm. So quick recap for us, because I know we covered a lot. We have two driving factors of your life. You have pain and you have pleasure. These two will drive everything. And the biggest part of this, of pain and pleasure, are our standards. Because our standards will dictate what is pain to us and what is pleasure to us. If someone grew up in a bad lifestyle and they're used to having fights, to them, that is actually not a pain thing. They're just used to it. Maybe it's even a pleasure thing to them. So on a deeper level, you have to find a way to make sure you have healthy pain and healthy pleasures as well. It's a whole other topic for itself. And then when you do this, attach your goals to two parts. Have a goal that is for the North Star, but also have a negative goal, like if I don't do this, what happens? That is more motivating to you than the other one. So again, we will run from pain toward pleasure. Without pain being here, I'm gonna walk towards it. I don't care. There's no urgency. There's no need to get there. And we combine on internal and external Y, we can really see why most people at a long time horizon live the same life, even entrepreneurs. I know an agent that died at open house. He was 80 years old, he died at open house. So his life was the same. He never increased his goals, he never invested more money, he never did more things. I know so many agents that are 20, 30 years in the same business, in the same stuff, nothing's changed. And to me, that is a nightmare. That's purgatory. I don't want that. I don't want to have a life. I'll look back and I'm declining every single month because of inflation and so forth, and relationships, all these things combined. I want to increase it every single month by adding in new fires, by adding in new rewards. And this is how you can really dictate your life and have everything you want. Like, seriously, it is. You can literally have whatever you want by understanding those main philosophies. So I hope this helps you. Again, if you want more support, down below, apply to work with us. Part of our company program at Six-Figure Agent Society. We help you add minimum, if you have a super small market, $50,000 in 6 months, to the high market of being $1 million in the next 6 months to your businesses. On average, you probably make around $174,000, depending on where you're at in your country, or in the country, in the next 6 months with our help. And if you don't, again, full refund plus $500 given to you. Make sure there's no risk for you. That's me, what a good coach does. And no one else is doing this but us, because no one else can do this, because our system works that well. So again, I hope this helps you. Down below, love your feedback. Was this helpful for you? And what drives you the most? What's your goal? I want to see your goals down below. Your goal, 100K, 200K, $1 million. What is your goal? Down below, let me know. As always, subscribe, like this video, tag your friends, share this, and I'll see you at the top.